much. Well, good evening and welcome to this special BAFTA celebration in which we honour Britain's most successful TV drama series, Downton Abbey. It is a privilege for me to be your host this evening, and I hope I've come properly dressed for the occasion. If not, I'll have words with my personal valet, Primark. This special recognition by BAFTA for Downton Abbey is richly deserved. The show has become a global phenomenon, a byword for class, sophistication and style, both in front of and behind the cameras. A compelling and powerful drama featuring unforgettable characters. And it takes us back to a time when the watchwords were loyalty, decency and chivalry. A time when people knew how to behave properly. A time when people had the good grace to shift the body of a dead Turk back to his own room to spare everyone's feelings. How are we going to cope without Downton? For that all-too-brief hour watching the show every week, we could forget about the terrible things happening in the world today and escape to a simpler time, a time of world wars, devastating flu epidemics, homophobia, sexism and racism. It was a bit like Top Gear without the denim. Like all great TV shows, Downton was about great stories and great characters, and I'm thrilled to say they're here this evening to receive this splendid award from BAFTA. Lady Mary is here, ladies and gentlemen. Irresistible to men. Harder to defrost than the windscreen of a 1972 Hillman Avenger in the middle of winter. Carson is here as well. Let's hear it for Carson. Carson, the Rock. Never fast, always furious. The head of the family, Lord Grantham, of course, Lord Grantham. An upright husband to Cora, an uptight father to his 3 daughters, and an outstanding stepdad to Paddington Bear. You did a good thing there. And, of course, there's the Dowager Countess of Grantham herself. There she is. The Baroness of the barbed comments, the Queen of the Crypt, the Duchess of Disdain, but with a heart of gold bigger than a croquet lawn. Yes, Downton is nearing the end. And as we as a nation, indeed as a planet, come to terms with the sadness that this will bring, I'm going to make it even harder for you by reminding you of some of the defining moments from perhaps the greatest period drama in television history, Downton Abbey.
It's from Lord Grantham, who wants to change our lives.
On the rock.
Welcome to Downton.
What a reception committee.
I love you, Mr. Bates.
Goodbye, then. And such good luck.
Nothing in life is sure.
Do you find the prisoner guilty or not guilty?
Guilty, my lord.
Lady Mary Crawley, will you do me the honour of becoming my wife?
You'll find there's never a dull moment in this house.
We are gathered.
Can't do this.
Help her! Help her, please!
No,
Please.
no.
Say hello to your son and heir.
You must choose death or life.
I love you, Isabel Crawley.
Darling Rose, will you marry me?
Stop!
I'm going, and she's coming with me now.
I'm asking you to marry me.
Marigold is my daughter.
You're a bitch!
I've given my life to Downton. I was born here, and I hope to die here.
Downton's incredible story has had just about everything. It's covered 14 turbulent years of Crawley family history. Now, we can't do it all justice, but I took the liberty of writing to a couple of distinguished experts to see if they would help us out.
Mamma, I've had such a strange request this morning.
What was that, dear?
Some geezer from London wants to make what they call a documentary film about this family.
What family? Well, the Crawleys? Why?
He says people are interested.
Well, what have we ever done to deserve that? We've just lived perfectly ordinary lives in a perfectly ordinary house.
He says so many things have happened to us.
Oh, but what? Oh, I suppose there was the Turk who died in Mary's bed.
In her bed? I don't remember that. I thought he died somewhere else entirely.
Well, only because Cora, Mary and the maid carried his body the length of the house.
But why had they put him in Mary's room? And where was she sleeping?
Robert, I sometimes wonder if you should get out more.
Well, now I think of it, we did have that man with a new face claiming to be Cousin Patrick and therefore the heir to Downton. That was quite something.
Yes, well, everyone has tiresome relations.
Then I lost my money and Matthew inherited an even larger fortune from a man he barely knew, and he put it all into the estate.
Wasn't that lucky? And don't let's forget, he broke his spine. Except that he didn't. He didn't, and bounced out of his wheelchair like a jack-in-a-box.
Moments before his girlfriend died of Spanish flu.
And what about Mary? Playing dangerous liaisons in a Liverpool hotel?
Oh, we needn't bring that up. But we could say that Edith's beloved was murdered by the Nazis.
Oh, no, don't let's get involved with them. We're bound to regret it. Just stay with the baby, hidden on the estate, being fed by the farmer.
And dear Tony Gillingham, gifted in so many ways.
Except one.
What was that?
And all those deaths we've had to endure. Poor William in the war.
Darling Sybil, lost in childbirth. Matthew smashed to smithereens minutes after setting eyes on his newborn son.
And then there's the servants. I mean, Cora's maid trying to entrap Tom with a false pregnancy. And Ethel's baby leading her into prostitution.
Yeah. Bates nearly hanged for murder. Oh. Anna in prison for another killing.
Yes, 2 murderers in one servants' hall. Yes, that is quite unusual, I agree.
We've had blackmail and thieving and crazy Russian princes.
Oh, no, he wasn't crazy. No, he was foreign.
And when I think of all the prejudice we've witnessed, all the blinkered Tommy rot we've had to listen to sitting round the dining table.
Being served by Barrow.
Ah! Well, Barrow deserves a documentary all of his own.
Yeah.
Do you think we should do it, then?
Well, you'd have to ask Carson. You'd need his permission.
I need his permission to get up in the morning. But I think he'll agree to it if I promise to behave as if nothing has changed since 1850. But we do still have a problem.
Why?
They want to know Bates's secret.
Does he have a secret?
What selfless act of valour did Bates commit in the Boer War? What did he do that saved my life, for which he earned my lifelong gratitude, but left him with a limp to this day? They say the audience has a right to know.
Well, so tell them.
I can't. I don't know what he did. It hasn't come up in a script.
Then ask Thingamy. You know, the writer.
But he says the precise nature of Bates's heroism must always remain a secret.
Why?
Because he hasn't the faintest idea what it was.
Lord Grantham and the Dowager Countess of Grantham, of course, Hugh Bonneville and Dame Maggie Smith, ladies and gentlemen. And I think, as that just proved, Downton has an amazing cast. So let's hear from some of the others now, talking about their time on the show.
Downton's taken us all by surprise, really. It's outstripped anybody's expectations.
None of us dared think that it would be as successful as it has been.
Don't be defeatist there, it's very middle class.
I remember Hugh coming back from the States and saying, "You're not going to believe how mad for this show the people are over there. It's like a fairy story."
I think Downton's success throughout the world is really down to its storytelling.
The strength and uniqueness of Julian's writing is that he creates very vivid characters who jump off the page.
It's very rare that you're watching the telly and you go, "I wish I were in that," and then a year later you're in it.
When I was in drama school, I always thought about Downton itching to be a part of such a great period drama.
Never in a million years would I have ever thought. You know, that I would be in this company is just absolutely extraordinary.
If you're turning American on me, I'll go downstairs.
For all
of us being in Downton must have changed our lives.
It's been an extraordinary thing to be a part of, but I think this is absolutely the right time to finish. Quit while you're ahead.
I know it's something that I'll be grateful for forever, to work with all of these actors and our amazing crew. It's been amazing.
The cast of Downton Abbey, who will always have those golden memories to remind them of the show. But it's not just the regular stellar cast we've been lucky enough to watch. Downton has attracted some A-list guest stars, Hollywood legends, theatrical greats, and in Series 4, a world-renowned opera singer. She appeared as Dame Nellie Melba, and she's here to perform live the song she sang in the show. Puccini's O Mio Babino Caro. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Dame Kiri Takanawa. To meet the man who created Downton Abbey. Without him, none of this would have been possible. Now, normally, on a long-running drama series, a team of writers will be drafted in to take the show forward. The remarkable thing about the writer of Downton is that he wrote every single one of its episodes. Will you please welcome the very tired Julian Fellowes.
The beginning of Downton was quite random. Gareth Neave suddenly said to me, "What do you feel about revisiting Gosford Park for television?" And you know, the funny thing was, I wasn't all that keen, really. I don't know why now. I sort of felt it would be a bit greedy, wanting a second slice of the same pie. But anyway, I came round and we went off to Peter Fincham, ITV, and his excellent drama team, Laura Mackey and Sally Haynes, and that was it, really. I mean, that's the odd thing. That was it. We did have hurdles. I remember we couldn't call it Downton Abbey because the public would think it was about monks. The main roadblock, actually, was just that fashionable opinion then was that this kind of television was finished. The period drama was dead, nobody would watch it. But happily, Peter chose to listen to his gut instead of the advice he was being given, and off we went. And it has been extraordinary. Sometimes a little bit too extraordinary. I remember, you know this, when I was walking down Fifth Avenue a couple of years ago, and I went into Barnes & Noble, the booksellers, and as I was going from table to table, I could feel this woman following me. And after a bit, I said, can I help? And she looked at me, her lip quivered. She hesitated, and she said, just let Edith be happy. And now it is my happy duty to tell you that we're going to show you some glimpses of life backstage, behind the candelabra.
Good morning, welcome to Highclere Castle. If you can imagine, this is usually quite a peaceful environment, but then this place is sort of organised chaos, really from about 7 o'clock onwards. This is Robert here, in case I forget who I am. All the costumes have been laid out, ready for today's scenes, shirts and stuff, and this is my favourite thing. This is my dressing gown, which doesn't look much, but in Series 1, the costume department very kindly made me a lovely thing saying, Downton Abbey, Bonneville, Hugh's the daddy. That was 6 years ago, so it's all faded to bits.
Good morning.
Oh, my man. I thank you. I shall give you your tip later. Not all the scenes in Downton Abbey are shot at Highclere Castle. There is the lettuce off this, which is what I normally have. For all the servant scenes, we relocate to Ealing Studios in West London.
We've all been together 6 years now, so it's really very comfortable and very nice. And actually, we have to be careful of that, because if you get too comfortable, then you can screw up.
Action! The husband has been bought off. It's very relaxed and hopefully it's professional. Sometimes it might tip a little. But I'm far too discreet to say anything about that.
When the weather's like this, Highclere is dreamy, and we all sit out on the lawn and feel like we're on holiday.
Action!
You have to protect the honour of your family, of course you do.
Filming at Highclere is gorgeous. It's lovely. It just helps. It adds to the whole story. It's part of the story. It's a character itself.
Welcome to the inside of Highclere, and this is the dining room, where we have spent many, many, many hours. One dinner scene took 3 days to film, and probably about 95 seconds on screen. This is the library, which is my personal favourite, because I think it's such a beautiful room. And someone's stolen my desk. Where's my desk gone? Oh, it's over here. We film about 40% of the show here at Highclere. The biggest difference, of course, is that here it's real and valuable, and you have to be incredibly careful. At Ealing, it's all fake.
Nothing is what it seems to be. Those solid masonry walls are plywood with the name written on the back. That's just all the make-believe. I love it. This is the bell board with all the different rooms. The bells work from back here, of course. All the strings are labelled up. And if you take this one, Arundel, pull the bell, and there we go. Marvellous.
So today we're in Bampton, which doubles as Downton Village, filming Lady Mary's wedding, which is very exciting. That's why there's barriers.
Look at the barriers, that's so the public don't have a good look and it spoils the story. Because there's paparazzi and everything.
And action! Those whom God hath joined together, let no man put asunder.
Today is one of the special days when the entire cast, with upstairs and downstairs, is all gathered together.
Cut. Fantastic. Let's shoot it. Check in, thank you.
We've known each other for so long, so there's lots of historical jokes and stories.
Ladies and gents, can we just clear the path a bit more? We're going to get some kit through.
I love the people that I get to play with every day, because it's so much fun and it is just like a big family.
Action!
I feel so honoured and so lucky, and I feel really happy that I've been part of it, and I'll be so sad for it to finish.
We have so many of the stars of Downton this evening, though. I wanted to come down and chat to a few more. Of course, the lovely Lily James is sitting next to me, ladies and gentlemen. Lady Rose. Of course, you joined the series when it had already been going for a while and was already established as a hit. How was that experience?
Terrifying and magical. On my first day, it was a big dining room scene, so everyone was there and they all hid. And so when I walked in, everyone jumped out, and I've never been more scared in my life. I went bright red. Yeah, it's just been the most wonderful, wonderful time.
OK, thank you, Lily. Dan Stevens is here, ladies and gentlemen, as well. Of course, Dan, great to see you. You did, as we all know, leave the series perhaps a little too early for some of us, cementing your position as the worst driver in the history of fiction. But one thing I'm always surprised by is that I know viewers, and I'm among them, of course, sometimes we mix up the actor with the character they're playing, and you have to deal with the consequence of that. After you returned from the war, how often did you face the question in the street, how are your balls?
The tingle. There's a lot of talk of tingle for quite some time.
Was it ever explained what had gone on down there?
It was a tingle. It was the tingle.
I'm feeling a bit of a tingle right now, Dan. I'll be honest with you. Ladies and gentlemen, there are so many people down here, but we have so much more on stage. Will you please welcome, right here, Penelope Wilton, Elizabeth McGovern, and Laura Carmichael.
You've noticed the attention to detail that's gone into the hair, makeup and costumes on the show as we've swept through 14 years from 1912 to 1926.
The Edwardian woman was expected to change clothes 5 times a day. And in Series 6 alone, our costume team have made 251 costumes. The makeup team, I can see them out there, have created over 1,000 wigs since the series began.
Costume and makeup are the first to arrive in the morning and the last to leave at night, often staying late to reset tens of wigs or finish costumes for the following day. They work so hard, and we are so proud to showcase their amazing talent.
Is there anything more thrilling than a new frog?
The costumes are insane.
Ta-da!
I'm astounded. The detail.
How does it look?
Expensive.
Lady Rosamond is blessed in the hat department. Some of them are exceptionally painful.
The corsets were uncomfortable. Michelle and I used to joke about having a little corset cry when you're a bit tired.
Hi. Hi. Welcome to the costume truck where all the magic happens. This is Anna.
Costuming Downton Abbey is special for me because there's such progress socially within the decade. So as a costume designer, it gives you a great journey to be able to take the characters on.
So this is my room. And that's Anna's.
I wear 2 different black dresses, and that's about it.
I'm afraid I'm too old-fashioned for you, my lady.
When you're on Downton, it's a juggernaut of a job. It's a massive ensemble cast. It progresses really quickly. With the jazz age coming in the 20s meant that there was a real movement and fluidity to the evening dresses.
I loved wearing this one.
It was the fashion show.
Yeah. It's so different to anything else that I'd worn before, so it was a great way to kick off that series, wasn't it? Oh, yummy.
The hair for Edith has been epic. She's gone through a lot of different styles.
Perfect. Slightly new, but not too different.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Many of the actors wear a wig to just make it more realistic.
Golly, what fun. I've got dark brown hair under this wig. It's a real work of art.
When you get a period gig, where's your first port of call to decide how you're going to go with it?
You research.
You research. We use all kinds of reference books, from wig making to period hairstyling. The research is so important.
Have you seen the boys' haircuts the women are wearing in Paris?
I hope you won't try that.
We created a bob for Lady Mary, cut exactly true to the period.
Well, we really are living in the modern world.
Makeup as well is something that you have to do a lot of research about, I would imagine. I think in a period show, because people don't see the makeup, they obviously don't realise that as much work goes into making somebody look like they have no makeup on as the work of making somebody look like they are made up.
It's the attention to detail that makes the programme what it is. From detail in costume, makeup, wigs, that's what makes it so specific.
And that's it. It's the shoes. Thank you very much.
celebrates Downton Abbey. It's time for another musical moment now, and to perform for us, we have the man who played Charles Blake, one of the many suitors for the hand of Lady Mary. Ladies and gentlemen, singing My Heart Stood Still, Julian Ovenden.
I laughed at sweethearts I met at schools, all indiscreet hearts seemed romantic fools. A house in Iceland was my heart's domain. I saw your eyes, now castles rise in Spain. I took one look at you, that's all I meant to do, and then my heart stood still. My feet could step and walk, my lips could move and talk, and yet my heart stood still. Though not a single word was spoken, I could tell you knew that unfelt clasp of hands told me how well you knew. I never lived at all until the thrill of that moment when my heart stood still.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Jim Carter and Alan Leach.
Thank you very much. During the filming of Downton Abbey, a lot of attention is given to make sure that all the details of domestic life are absolutely correct. We feel it's very important that all the staff, if not all the actors, know, say, the difference between a ladle and a bouillon spoon. A ladle and a bouillon spoon.
No, not a clue.
And that, Alan, is why you play a chauffeur.
A chauffeur?
Oh, thank you.
However, I can exclusively reveal that, in one respect, we have, over the last 6 years, lied to you. When we have depicted us drinking delicious red and white wines, it has, in fact, been store-bought, own-brand grape juice. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
Sorry if we've shocked you, but you don't want to see Maggie on the Merlot at 8 in the morning. No, really, you don't. So, let's take a little glimpse at all the detail that goes into making Downton real. Thank you.
Right at the beginning, it was the attention to detail. It sort of all added to creating this world.
But why do the rituals, the clothes and the customs matter so much?
Because without them, we would be like the wild men of Borneo.
We work very hard on the scripts to make sure that we cover the big events of the day.
We are at war with Germany.
So although the show is based at Downton and about these characters, they're not living in a vacuum.
It has to all be there to create this experience for the viewer. If you've got that, you've got a really good basis to make this drama come alive.
Every department
when the script comes in, does copious amounts of research. It's those details that make the world feel real.
Obviously, the lessons have proved successful.
I'm a terrible one for putting my hands on the dinner table. Your hands have to be on your lap if you're not using your knife and fork. They'll say you're not doing things properly anymore.
There have been many very interesting historical details, like you never took your hat off if you went to visit. If you did take your hat off, you had terrible hat hair, so everyone kept their hats on. That was all fascinating.
Action!
In terms of the historical accuracy, we rely on our oracle, Alistair Bruce. We turn to him, and even if he's making it up, he's very convincing.
And then you place the thing against the table and bring the chair back to it. Making sure they all understand what they're doing and why they're doing it is helpful for their acting. Don't whack him.
Manners and protocol are important because it adds to the atmosphere of the show.
What is it?
It's flambé à la pomme de Dieu, my lady.
Ooh, lovely.
It's one of those little details, and if they're immaculate and precise, then it just gives a whole different feeling.
No, one at a time. Sorry, with you. I love the detail. I absolutely drive down into finding out exactly what was hanging on the back of a door, who had what on, what they had in their pockets. And I think that helps you make sure that every single person in the background is carrying something that is right for that time of day.
Here we go, folks, for the rehearsal.
If Sophie or I are feeling a tiny bit insecure, we ask for a dishcloth. A dishcloth seems to give us that kind of comfort blanket. So that's my favourite prop.
The main thing me and Leslie have had to struggle with is making sure we look like we're really good at cooking, because both of us are not great at cooking.
What? I sing the praises of the art department endlessly. I always love it when we do a scene in which either a newspaper or a letter features, because there are details in those items that the audience will never see, but they have gone out of their way to make as vivid as possible.
I don't believe it.
Please say it's something nice.
If it's not seen by the camera, then you think, oh, why bother? But actually, when the actor reads the letter, and it is the letter that he's reading, it adds to the whole occasion. Highclere Castle eventually was the choice for Downton Abbey. It was the first place we saw. We then visited another 40 houses around England just to check that it was the one we really liked.
Crikey.
The castle, the home, has been a character in itself. Again, it all helps to make the world real.
Everything has been meticulously planned, and then it's just for the actors to come in and give all of these different parts of the structure a cohesive feeling.
Very good.
I can't but applaud the people who work much harder than I do to bring Downton Abbey and keep its standard so high for so long.
Recreating the world of 100 years ago. Alternatively, you can visit Norfolk. Now, it was that attention to detail that helped make the show a hit around the world, watched by a combined global audience of 270 million people. That's a lot of viewers, even in countries where you might not expect the inhabitants to get Downton. I'm talking about places as far apart and as culturally different as South Korea, China, Cambodia, Scotland. They all love it. But don't take my word for it. Let's see how Downton has taken the world by storm.
We came all the way from Japan to see this place.
We love Downton Abbey because of its history.
We're from Holland. We started last summer from scratch at Series 1. We never stopped watching it.
We are from Brazil. Downton Abbey is getting more popular in Brazil.
Very popular.
I'm from Montreal, and I find it so fascinating, the costumes and the sets. It's wonderful.
Downton Abbey.
Downton Abbey.
Downton Abbey.
I think the global success of Downton was what surprised us the most. Through the years that it's been translated and dubbed into so many languages and different territories, I think we sell into 250 territories now, is unbelievable.
Hello?
Hello. Это поместье Даунтон.
I hate to disappoint people, but I'm not dubbed. That is me. I do have the facility to speak foreign languages with my lips moving in a different time to what I'm saying.
So, und nun reibe den Rinderteig da, bevor ich alt bin und von hinnen gehe.
It was just hilarious. It sounds like a bloke.
Oui, moi aussi. Ça me ferait mal au cœur.
Everything just sounds kind of cooler and sexier in French. So I was quite happy with that.
No se precipite saliendo de noche. Coge el tren de Londres mañana. Sale a las 9.
I sound like a very comforting bank manager, which is a perfect description for Robert.
I met a fan in America, and she was so enthusiastic about Mrs. Hughes that she'd got Mrs. Hughes' keys tattooed on her waist. You could knock me down with a feather.
I think the Australian trailer for the show, they were really going out for a young audience. I guess they were trying to demonstrate that it wasn't a stuffy old costume drama, but there really is something in there for everyone.
No one predicted how big Downton would be globally. We all became aware of just this train that was gathering momentum.
It's still slightly bewildering when we go abroad and you see just how much people love it.
We've just been so lucky that people have taken to the show so much.
Welcome back. Now tonight, the British Academy of Film and Television Arts celebrates the success of Downton Abbey, the best of British drama, and a show that we have all taken to our hearts. To present the BAFTA Special Award, one of our finest actors. Fittingly, she can play upstairs as well as down. She's at home playing comedy as well as the most nuanced drama. And of course, she is herself a multi-BAFTA award winner. Will you please welcome the wonderful Julie Walters.
Thank you. I'm absolutely delighted to be here tonight to present this very special award on behalf of the British Academy of Film and Television Arts. The show is loved all over the globe, and here are just a few of the people who, like me, have loved the last 6 seasons of Downton.
When I first heard Downton Abbey was to receive the BAFTA Special Award, I was absolutely thrilled. It is one of Catherine's and my favourite programmes.
A fan of Downton Abbey. I'm obsessed with Downton Abbey.
An avid watcher, great fan of the show. I watched the entire series, didn't miss one episode.
It's like a movie. It's like an incredibly gorgeous film.
Is it too late to audition for the show?
I could just be the black man that showed up, you know, Lord Combs.
Downton's so special for me because of the storylines. The storylines just pull you back in.
One of the things that makes Downton so special to watch is just the performances. You just fall for these characters and everyone's playing them with such integrity.
The show was excellent. The writing was incredible. I'm a fan of British actors and their style of acting and the effortlessness of it.
We saw ourselves, I think, in each of these characters, some part of ourselves. And so that's, I think, why people gravitated towards it. This BAFTA is really a thank you, I think, from the whole world to this cast and to Julian, because it's superb.
It is a remarkable achievement. Congratulations, Julian, and everyone.
Well, thank you for allowing me to watch you guys be brilliant actors, and that great writing has not gone away. Thank you.
As the president of BAFTA, I'm delighted that we are paying tribute to this extraordinary series that has flown the flag for British drama, both at home and internationally. Few British series have ever managed to achieve such worldwide acclaim, and many millions of people, myself included, have enjoyed the life and times of the Crawley family. My congratulations to everybody at Downton Abbey, and as a fan, thank you.
This award is presented in recognition of the outstanding global success of Downton Abbey. This recognition from the Academy today is testament to its huge popularity with audiences in Britain and around the world, and shines a light on the incredible achievements of the whole cast and crew. Downton Abbey is a genuine global phenomenon, and we'll miss it when it's gone. This award is very, very much deserved. So please, can I ask Gareth Neame, Julian Fellows, Liz Trowbridge, and the cast of Downton Abbey to come up on the stage.
Thank you very much indeed to the Academy for this very special award. You've seen Downton Abbey has won so many awards right around the world, but this is a British show. And for us to be presented with such a prestigious award here at home, it really means more than anything else. So many thank yous this evening. But firstly, Julian, we talk of your talent creating the show, the characters, these wonderful scripts. Truly, none of this would have happened without you. To my fellow producers, Liz Trowbridge, Nigel Marchant, and Chris Croucher, to all these fantastic actors, to our directors, and each and every member of our outstanding and dedicated crew. But most of all, to our fans in Britain, as well as right around the world, thank you for coming with us on this journey and for welcoming the Crawley family into your own homes. We're sorry that we're coming to the end of the show right now, but we're only here in the first place because of all of you.
Thank you. You know, I'm often asked, what exactly does a producer do? In fact, I'm sure there's quite a few of you in the stalls who may still be wondering the very same thing. Obviously, now is not the time to go into the answer, but I do want to say two things on the subject. The first is that, as a species, we tend to work at our best behind the camera. And so you will correctly conclude that right now I am not in my natural habitat. Which leads me to the second point I would like to make. A good producer needs to know when to delegate. And luckily for me, I find myself surrounded by people who can perfectly perform the next very important task. So I am going to turn to our cast, led by the head of the Downton household, our very own Lord Grantham, Hugh.
Thank you. Now, okay, which camera's on? Okay, I'm looking at you, our audience at home, because you have either taken to heart the characters that we play, or you've taken to throwing things at the telly on a Sunday evening. Either way, we on this stage are the visible faces of Downton Abbey, but there are hundreds, and I mean hundreds of people you don't see, and to whom we owe more than you will ever know. But on behalf of all of us on this stage and this cast, thank you all for your part in making this an unforgettable adventure. So please, will the crew please stand up? Come on, stand up. Ladies and gentlemen, the crew of Downton Abbey.
So may I once again congratulate the cast and the crew of Downton Abbey, a very well-deserved award. As we prepare to say goodbye to the Crawley family, we're going to end this evening by looking back at some of the most memorable moments from the show. Don't forget to watch the last ever episode on Christmas Day. And from everyone here, good night.
It's been an extraordinary thing to be a part of. And now it's coming to an end. It's going to feel very strange.
I think the moments that I'll most remember are a sudden, unexpected kiss, the Turk dying in a bed.
I'll be ruined, Mama. Oh, Edith has had a lot of heartache. What are you saying?
I can't do it.
I've loved playing all of Rose's loves.
Oh, darling.
And there's been quite a few.
paddling in the sea was a treat.
You can always hold my hand if you need to feel steady.
That's one of the slowest burning romances of all time. You managed to make that sound a little risque.
My introduction to Violet was pretty wonderful. What should we call each other?
Well, we could always start with Mrs. Crawley and Lady Grantham.
With Richard E. Grant, when we had our sort of handbags at dawn moment, and I apologise here on television, Richard, for cracking your rib.
Did you really?
Yes.
You did? God, what a night.
I'm not going to give anything away, but I can tell you that I read the Christmas special and I could feel myself filling up.
Mr. Molesley.
Yes?
After like years and years of nobody touching each other, could be lots of...
I have to confess, when I first got the script, I turned straight to the last page, and it made me smile.
I can't imagine it finishing yet. It's so strange.
I'll miss him.
Of course you will, my lord.
I'll miss getting a new script every so often, sitting with my cup of tea and going from page 1 to the end to see what happens to everybody.
Summing up the last 6 years of Downton, it has just been enormous fun.
I feel really happy that I've been part of it, and I'll be so sad for it to finish.
My lasting memory from being in Downton was, wasn't I lucky?